So so let me show you something. I need to quickly do this. This is the first time I'll be doing something like this outside, like this, like for real. But I want to show you something. I'm actually at the Tyler Perry studio in Atlanta. I want to show you something. Let's go. I'm in front of Tyler Perry studio in Atlanta. That's the studio down there, down the street by the light behind me.
Tell you what I did, which nobody knows. This summer, for the first time, there was an intensive therapy session in Arizona that I went to. I spent 7 days, 10 hours a day with therapists. For the first time, I'm sitting with therapists and having these conversations. First of all, I was so exhausted, I thought, what else are you going to do? Because I was about to...
And you sounded, it's like, I call you, hey, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm done.
Yeah, I was exhausted. I was ready to walk away from it all. I was just tired of holding everything and holding everybody up. But going into this intensive 7 days a week, 10 hours a day with all of these different therapists. And before you go in, you do these hundreds of pages of questionnaires.
Really?
So they have a very clear idea of who you are mentally when you walk in the door. So you can't bullshit them. You can't fool them at all. When you walk in the door, they know
who you are. Yeah.
So
and they double know who you are. It's like
and in that this program is designed to help you walk through the traumas. And I didn't even realize how many traumas I had experienced, because what we do as men, you get up and you go on.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that every time we just get up and go on, we have a trauma. It's like we've taken a 50-pound weight and put it in our soul.
Our trauma center.
To keep walking. Yeah. One of the therapists there was telling me that some of the hardest people to help are Christians, because they think, oh, I'm just going to pray it away. I'm going to pray it away. God's going to heal me. Everything's going to be, if I just talk to Jesus. And listen, I believe that is true.
I definitely believe.
I believe that is true. And I also believe, it doesn't have to be a but, I also believe that you can get help for mental health things. Because here's something that blew my mind when I was doing this thing called EMDR. It's where you're just holding on to these probes. It's nothing weird or crazy, no drugs. You're just holding on to these probes, and they're in your hand, one left, one right. Just you feel a little pulse. Because from what I understand in EMDR, when you go into REM sleep, that's when your eyes dart and your body starts to heal yourself. It's a scientific thing, from what I understand. Could be wrong, but this is from what I understand. So what happens when you have trauma, of these neural paths in your brain are storing things that are affecting you your whole life. And until you can understand how to move those things in the part of the brain where they're supposed to be through this EMDR. I know this is deep, man.
No, I've never heard of it.
When they were explaining this to me, I was like, oh Lord, what is it? You know me.
Yes.
And I'm the only black person up in the whole bunch. So like, who do you agree that might be? What is happening?
Might take you to a scene from Get Out.
Right, exactly right. But understanding the science of it, and immediately after having those sessions, I felt everything lifting. I felt everything fall into perspective. My prayer and my praise was different because it was coming from a place of understanding what was happening. Do you understand? Because I was sitting in this room with these people, and all of these people were wondering, why are you here? Because there was someone over there who had an addiction. There was someone over there who's had another kind of addiction there. Why are you here? And I'm sitting there myself going, what? Yeah, why? This doesn't make sense to be here talking to these people.
I'm good, thank you.
I see you up there doing that yoga.
Oh, it's yoga.
Oh no, baby, I don't have no yoga. I don't eat that. That messed my stomach up. I don't do it. It's got that bifida sprinkleris. It's a lot of high
Carbs.
Oh no, baby, I don't eat crabs. I ain't tell you no crabs. You gonna have crabs in yoga? You about to mess your stomach up.
How many Wi-Fi?
Well, if you ask me nice, I get up and I'll make you something.
Excuse me?
So that's Tyler Perry. It does sort of what's it called? Therapist. He's playing the role of therapist in a lot of his movies. In the Madea, stuff. So a lot of people have said, okay, this is a therapy for them when they watch him play this elderly woman role. For someone who acts as a therapist to now go see professional therapy. Okay, let's let's just roll with this video, okay?
Well, through the course of this time, my time there, what was evident that I immediately pushed back on. It's like, Tyler, you're a caregiver. I was like, yes, I know. And you also lean in on gratitude. I'm like, yes, I know. I'm grateful for everything. But Tyler, what you're doing is you're using both of those things as a crutch. Though you're using the two of those things like these people are using their addictions, because you are not allowing yourself to feel the pain of what you're going through, because you'd rather care for someone else than look at yourself. You'd rather be so thankful and so grateful that you don't even acknowledge the shit that comes along with the pain. Yeah, she's 80 years old, and we were talking about the things that she had been through, and she was just like, what's the sense in sitting? What's the sense in sitting in it? Which I used to believe too. Oh, it happened, move on. But what I found by sitting in the moment and understanding what it did to you and how it affected you can help to free you. That is the reason to do it, especially if you can find the right therapist so that you can get to the understanding of what happened. Yeah. Here's what I never had depression. What happened to me at 50, and holding all of this up to, if you look at Netflix and Disney and all of these people, those are conglomerates with the shareholders and, you know, thousands of people invested. I'm one man running a 330-acre studio where the light bill is always over $100,000 and the water bill is always $50,000, and where there is almost a $200 million payroll with actors and everybody every year. One man holding the weight and the pressure of that. And then drowning, constantly having to drown out the noise and the foolishness. And constantly, I was just in prayer all the time. Okay, God, how do I move through this? Because when you've been given a seat like this, it is so important that you honor it. Like, I'm not one of those people that can sleep when I do things wrong. I honor it. I honor everybody who comes through this door. I honor every actor and every actress. Because if somebody comes to you with their dreams in their hands, and you take advantage of that, that is evil. So I was feeling the weight of all of that, because when you carry it right and honor it, it can isolate you.
That first clip of me that I showed you in front of Tyler Studio was actually 2 weeks ago, on the 13th, 2 Wednesdays ago. And I want to show you some of the things I said in front of his studio, because you just mentioned isolation. It is very possible for someone like him to be so kept away from people that we hear some things later, and it will be like he will ask his staff, why didn't you let me know, why didn't you tell me? Yeah, did you read that book, The Rich Also Cry? Yeah. So let me allow you to see. People, it's cold here. I will expect you to send some hot tea. I trust you that you will send it. So let me allow you to watch the remaining part of his interview, and some things I said about someone like him being isolated, being having bubbles around him, having a lot of walls, tall walls built around him. It's so interesting that a lot of time people like him, they are very easy to relate with and all of that, but the people working with them, so let me allow you to watch that. This video that this is interview that you are seeing was actually posted yesterday, and I was there 2 Wednesdays ago, over 2 weeks now. Yeah, and I talked about isolation over there. Let's continue. Yes, so I came, and the security was like, okay, I even told him that I must schedule an appointment. I said, even if it is the secretary, let me just see somebody to pass the information across to. And he said, okay, I need to book an appointment. So how do you book an appointment? He said, call the line on the website. I did, and it was only answering machine that was talking to me. Yes, I understand, for a man of his status, there will be walls around him, security details and all of that. But a lot of times, sometimes, the kind of walls, the kind of bubbles that is built around these people are themselves security risk. Yes, because for somebody like of his status, there are some things he might hear later and be like, why don't you let me know? You know.
It can put you in the back and on your heels because you know that you can't go out and hang out and have a good time and have parties. You can't do any of that stuff because you're honoring it.
Right.
And I found myself sitting at 50 going, what happened to your life? Wow. You've been honoring it so much and holding the weight of this thing, man. That thing got so heavy on me that I said, I've got to get some help. For a long time, the gift that God gave me was, and I still have it, to be able to disassociate. That's the thing that helped me get through all the trauma. Whatever was happening, I could leave. Be it the sexual abuse from the man in the church or the rape from the woman down the street, I could leave my mind and be somewhere else so that I could survive it. Okay, so to have that ability at a time that I thought was very, very difficult and hard, which was to move through, to have that ability help me survive. And a lot of children can do that. But sometimes people disassociate and they break and they're not able to come back, or they split into different personalities. God gave me the grace to be able to come back into it. And I did not understand how much that affected me up until maybe 10 years ago when I realized I was disassociating from everything. Anytime anything got too heightened for me, I was out in my mind. I'd be sitting here talking to you and gone.
Really?
Yes, I could. If it was something that was painful and hard to move through, I could float right through it because I wasn't in it.
God.
And if it was joy and happiness, and I could be there but not be in it, which recently I learned how to come down in it, and I learned what was
How to live in the moment.
how to come down from that. Yeah, because it was such a natural reaction to go away and go into myself to protect myself. My mother, when she died, if I didn't have contracts, if I didn't have obligations that were years out that I had to do, my life would have been very different right now. Because I started drinking a lot. Like I would have a drink now and then, but I was drinking a lot because I've never felt that kind of pain. And also understanding that feeling of I am alone.
That was
for
your
the first
security.
time in my life. Yeah, I am by myself on this planet. I will never have that kind of love again. I will never know that kind of love again. And I am by myself holding all of this stuff up. Yeah. As you were talking about race, I'm sitting here with all these therapists, and they're all white therapists. I'm the only black man there. And as I'm talking to them, race would come up, and I would just go on to the next thing. And they all made notes. And then they make me sit in and hold on a minute, Tyler. Let's talk about how you feel about the racism. I didn't even realize how fully it was affecting me. Because as a black man, you just get up and go. You don't sit and in it and like, okay, well, that's the way it is. Because I refuse to be one of those black men who is like, the hell the system, everybody kill everybody, I hate white people. I don't want that energy in my soul, right? I understand that this whole playing field is going to be tilted away from me. I've got to figure out how to make it work for me, which I have. And even still, because I'm talking to them about how watching people who are my same age who have not had any level near the success that I've had as far as track record of successes, who are white, get 10 times more than what I have and 20 more opportunities just because of who they are.
Yeah.
So the frustration for me came in. I've been able to build all of this stuff and understand that there's racism, not bow down and get in it, but keep building a table around it, right?
Wow.
So having this moment where these people, these white people, who were really good people, made me realize how wrong that was. Made me sit in. I knew it was wrong, but as a black man, you just keep going.
Just keep.
But they made me sit in it, made me realize it, and the acknowledgement of it. When I was able to lean fully in and also have, again, all that questionnaire, they had a clear psychological evaluation of who I was. So as I'm in these moments, I'm being reaffirmed that I am who I think I am. which was so powerful to me, especially in this business when you're constantly bombarded with negativity and lies and half truths and all of this. So to have a group of professionals look at me and go through my psychological evaluation and reaffirm that the good I feel inside of me is true, right? The mistakes that I've made are true. They don't define me. They don't make me less than. They make me human. And I had set up this thing, as most men do, fathers who are carrying everybody, you set up this thing where you've got to be the hero, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when the hero is flawed or breaks or cracks or it's too much or walks away or is not able to be there? So being able to face all of that and realize, yes, I am all of those things and flawed too, was powerful for me. And the freedom of getting to the place where you go, like, if I don't do it and you don't like it and you don't love me, bye.